I used to believe that the worst kind of pain was physical, until the night my mother walked into my room and finally saw the truth. She didn't walk in on bruises. She didn't walk in on shouting. She walked in on fear, raw, shaking fear that had lived inside me for years. Fear my father built piece by piece with his unthinkable demands, his rules, his punishments, his silence, and his need for absolute control. Stay with me until the end, because the moment my mother opened that door changed everything. It shattered our family, reshaped our future, and taught me that sometimes the people meant to protect you are the ones you need protection from. I grew up in a house that pretended to be perfect. From the outside, we looked like the family everyone admired. My dad was respected. People called him disciplined, focused, a leader. My mother was soft-spoken, warm, and gentle. And I was the quiet daughter who never wanted to make trouble. But behind the walls of our home, our reality was completely different. My father was not the man people thought he was. Inside, he ruled our home like a dictator. He had rules for everything: how we breathed, how we walked, how we spoke, how we existed. And breaking even the smallest rule brought consequences. His punishments weren't always physical. Sometimes they were simply words, sharp, cutting, humiliating words that stuck inside my chest like knives. Other times it was silence. Days of silence. The kind of silence that makes you wonder if you even matter at all. And sometimes it was far worse. He controlled everything: our emotions, our routines, our peace. I learned early to walk carefully, to measure my heartbeat, to swallow my reactions. I learned to listen for the sound of his footsteps, to predict the storm inside him, to sense when his mood was about to shift. Every night felt like walking into a battlefield. I would lie in bed listening to the creak of the hallway floorboards, praying he wouldn't stop at my door. But he always did. Maybe it wasn't every night, but it felt like it. The emotional attacks, the lectures, the impossible expectations, they happened so frequently that time blurred together. He would stand over me, in the dark, telling me how I had failed him, how I wasn't doing enough, how I wasn't grateful, how I needed to be better. His voice was low but aggressive. His demands were overwhelming. Do exactly what I say. Don't question me. Don't make me repeat myself. You know your place. He expected perfection and punished even the smallest mistake. I lived in a constant state of fear. Not of being hit, but of being broken slowly, emotionally, piece by piece, night after night. My mother noticed things, but she never truly looked. She'd ask gentle questions, then accept whatever answer I gave. She'd say, "He's strict, but he loves you," or "You know how your father is." Sometimes she said nothing at all. I don't know if she was scared, or if denial felt safer to her than the truth. But the truth had been growing, quietly, silently, horribly, waiting for the night it would explode. It was a Thursday. I remember because Thursdays were always unpredictable. Dad would come home late, stressed, irritated, looking for something, someone to control. That night, the house felt too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes your heart beat wrong. I had finished helping my younger brother with homework. He went to bed early. My mother was in the kitchen, cleaning in silence. I went to my room, praying I would be invisible. But I wasn't. I heard his footsteps, slow, heavy, determined. My chest tightened. My hands trembled. My throat closed. The door opened without knocking, like always. He walked in with that same cold expression, the one that said he was about to correct me. He didn't have to touch me to hurt me. The emotional weight was enough to make me feel like I was suffocating. He started with questions, then demands, then criticism, then the long, terrifying lecture about obedience and loyalty. His voice got louder. His anger got sharper. His words got more violent. I was crying quietly, trying to hide it, because crying made him angrier. And then, my mother opened the door. She wasn't supposed to be there. She wasn't supposed to see. But she did. She saw everything. The tears streaming down my face. The way I flinched when he stepped closer. The way I couldn't speak. The fear in my eyes. My father towering over me, fists clenched, jaw tight, face red with rage. Her expression collapsed. Confusion. Shock. Horror. Realization. Everything showed at once. For the first time in years, someone finally saw me. She whispered my name. "Baby, what is happening?" My father turned slowly to look at her, like she had committed the biggest betrayal of his life. His mask cracked. His control slipped. His lies fell apart. He tried to justify himself. Tried to call it discipline. Tried to call me disrespectful. Tried to twist everything like he always did. But my mother wasn't blind anymore. She stepped between us, trembling, terrified, but brave in a way I'd never seen before. "Don't touch her again," she said, her voice breaking. It was the first time she had stood up to him. The first time she chose me over fear. The first time she admitted the truth, even without saying it out loud. My father exploded. He shouted. He denied. He blamed. He spun in circles trying to regain control. But it was too late. The illusion of our perfect family shattered that night. The next days were a storm. My mother cried until her eyes were swollen. My brother kept asking what was happening. And my father shifted between guilt, denial, and rage. There were arguments, violent arguments, not physical, but emotionally explosive. There were accusations. There were slammed doors. There were truths revealed. For the first time, I spoke. I told my mother everything, every demand, every night of emotional punishment, every moment of fear. She broke down. She apologized. She held me like she hadn't held me since I was a child. "We're leaving," she said eventually. "I won't let him do this anymore." And we did. We left the house we once called home without looking back. It wasn't easy. Healing was slow. Trust was fragile. Therapy was painful. Nightmares lingered. Guilt tried to drown me. But gradually, I learned to breathe again. My mother found her strength. My brother found his voice. And I found my freedom. I learned that pain doesn't define you. Control doesn't own you. Fear doesn't have to be permanent. And family isn't always the people who share your name. Sometimes family is the ones who choose to see you. If this story touched you, please watch till the end, because stories like this remind us that silence can be deadly, fear can be invisible, and courage sometimes begins with a single moment of truth. Comment below. Have you ever experienced something that changed your family forever? Subscribe to @Infidelity Series 8 for more emotional, powerful stories that reveal the secrets families hide behind closed doors. Remember, even in the darkest moments, even when the people meant to protect you fail you, you are not alone. You deserve peace. You deserve healing. You deserve love.